Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really powerful idea from the book, The Modern Art of War. And the concept is this: in any modern conflict, data is the new terrain. It's the ground on which these battles are actually being fought.
So let's kick things off with this quote because it just perfectly sets the stage. This is a huge shift in thinking, right? Victory isn't just about who has the most firepower anymore. It's about who sees reality the most clearly and can act on it the fastest.
But to really get what's new, we've got to first remember what's always been true. So let's start with the good old-fashioned battlefield. For pretty much all of history, terrain was simple. It was the physical world you could literally touch and see. A hill wasn't some abstract idea. It was a real physical advantage. A river was a genuine obstacle. It was all brutally physical. I mean, look at this list. These features shaped everything, absolutely everything. How armies moved, how they fought, how they survived. A single mountain pass could be the deciding factor in a whole campaign. A muddy field could just stop an invasion in its tracks. Any good commander had to be an expert at reading this physical ground. And look, all of that still matters. Of course it does. Tanks still get stuck in the mud, ships still have to navigate through choke points. But now it's woven together with something else, something completely invisible. And that brings us right here, to the heart of the argument. We're talking about the rise of a second landscape, an invisible one that is every bit as real and consequential as the physical ground under our feet.
So in this new world, if you ignore the flow of data, it's just as dangerous as ignoring a mountain range. Think about it. A unit could have the best weapons in the world, but if their targeting data is corrupted, they're basically just firing blind. The physical and the informational, they're totally inseparable now. Okay. This chart is the key translation. Just look at how the logic maps directly from the classical world to the informational one. Where hills and rivers used to control movement, now it's networks and sensors that control perception. In the past, bad terrain could trap an army. Today, bad data traps your entire strategy.
So if we're gonna say that data is terrain, what do its features actually look like? How does a leader learn to, read this new kind of ground? Let's break it down.
First up, data has high ground. Now, this isn't a hill you climb. It's a trusted sensor, a resilient network that gives you that clear, reliable view of the situation. It's what lets you see what's happening and act fast. And of course, it also has valleys. These are your informational blind spots. You can think of a jammed network or maybe a dense city where signals are just terrible. In these valleys, your picture of what's real becomes spotty, delayed, and super fragile. And just like that narrow bridge that a whole army has to cross, data has choke points. This could be a single satellite link, one critical database, something where if it fails or gets compromised, the whole operation can just grind to a halt. Then you've got the swamps. And this one is fascinating. This isn't about a lack of information, it's about having way too much. It's when you are literally drowning in dashboards and alerts and contradictory reports, so much so that you can't see what actually matters. It's saturated ignorance.
And finally, this new terrain is filled with traps. And we're not just talking about bad data. We're talking about deliberately deceptive data, spoofed GPS signals, fake images, false reports, all designed to lure you into making a terrible, catastrophic mistake.
So the really crucial question is, how does a leader learn to navigate this complex new landscape? Well, it's going to require a whole new way of thinking, a new doctrine.
A modern leader has to be asking a completely new set of questions, ones that go way beyond what you see on a physical map. It's about developing a kind of fieldcraft, but for this new digital world. So what does this new doctrine actually look like? Well, first, you map your data dependencies before a crisis hits, not during. Second, you're constantly making a distinction between what you know for sure and what you're just guessing. Third, you have to plan for your networks to fail so you're not caught off guard. And finally, and this is critical, you have to treat the source of your data as a vital piece of intelligence itself.
Okay, so this new world of data, it creates a very modern and a very, very dangerous trap. And that's the seduction of seeing everything so clearly on a screen. Modern systems give us this beautiful, polished illusion of total clarity. But an elegant map, with all the icons just dancing across it, that can hide a tremendous amount of uncertainty, error, and even
outright deception.
And this right here just brilliantly captures the core danger. We get so overconfident in our tools that we stop questioning the information they give us. Just because you can see something on a screen doesn't mean you understand it. Not at all.
The antidote is discipline. It's about constantly asking these, irritating but absolutely essential questions. Where did this come from? How old is it? What am I not seeing here? And maybe the most important one of all, could this clean, perfect picture be exactly what an adversary wants me to see?
And this is the ultimate warning. If you trust the elegant appearance of data without questioning what's underneath, you are incredibly vulnerable. It's like walking into a beautifully painted trap. So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, it's that leadership now demands a dual expertise. A commander has to be able to read the physical ground and the informational terrain. Because, as we've seen, a force that can't fight through contested data will, eventually and inevitably, lose its footing in the real world and fail.